Hey guys, it's David here, and welcome to Hot Tuck Tapes, a little show where I and sometimes special guests share our thoughts on RuPaul's Drag Race. And back again is Foster.
Hey guys, I'm back, and the season's done.
Hooray! We're all winners, because All Stars 3 is over. Just a little disclaimer, neither of us are drag performers, nor are we experts in the world of drag. We're simply fans of the show who want to start a conversation with the other Drag Race fans out there on the interwebs. Foster, can you believe I've gotten through this entire series without telling anybody to like our videos? I'm like not even a YouTuber. Thumbs up this video, y'all!
Hey you guys, first off, yes, I am aware of how echoey this video sounds. I didn't plug my mic into the right port of the camera and didn't realize this until I was done recording, so that's the camera's internal mic you're hearing bouncing all around those walls, but that is not why I'm pausing the video right here. I am recording this message because I want to let you guys know that tomorrow, Wednesday, March 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Foster and I will be live streaming our thoughts, our predictions, and our Meet the Queens feedback for Season 10 Girls, and I hope that you guys get this in time to tune in. That's again 6 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. I'm going to put an event link in the description, and we hope that a good amount of y'all show up and engage. We'll be able to chat with you guys live for the first time ever. We're super excited. With that said, on with the show.
Episode 8, a jury of their fellow... Oh, no. A jury of their queers. But Foster thinks it should have been titled a jury of their fellow queers.
Yeah, that's what RuPaul said too, because that's the phrase. I mean, whatever.
Is it a title of a thing? Or is this just a phrase?
It's an English phrase used by English speakers.
Okay, girl. Now, you see, you read Shangela for having her catchphrases, and the second you get yours. Watching the trajectory of this episode, I thought that, oh, okay, things actually may go my way. And then it just was like, almost in the last 5 minutes, a little Band-Aid ending, like, nope, everything went as everyone thought it would, even though the journey there didn't seem like it would end up here.
Yeah, I endorse that view.
Backing up to the beginning of this episode, we've got RuPaul announcing that the eliminated queens are back again, which I said Bruce stole directly from Foster, because I just associate this phrase with you. I don't know. Where is this from originally?
I believe
is this just something people say?
No, it's a Drag Race quote. I think it's originally Alyssa Edwards.
They're all a mole. There's not one mole. There is all of the eliminated queens are the mole. My first thought was, like, is Bendela actually going to come back?
Yeah, she didn't say almost any word. It took the longest time for anything to escape her mouth. She was just looking over her shoulder, but whatever.
Clearly did not want to be there. And in comparison to Chi-Chi not wanting to be there when she was brought back, I feel like the former handled it a little bit more gracefully. Trixie did reveal who she sent home, although she did take digs at BeBe for not revealing who she sent home.
The whole episode did, though.
I think that it was brought up to the extreme that they were basically using it as a reason that BeBe was not put into the top 2.
Well, that moment, I think, is like... It just kind of typifies all of the traits about her that set people off. The whole process of her coming back to the show, though, it was a missed opportunity for her to be, like, real and vulnerable. And it is kind of weird to, like, put this impetus on queens to have to show that side of themselves. But
it's just a different time. I mean, and so I watched all of season 1 between last review and this review, for those of you watching, and because I felt bad after seeing the comments that people were like, you do not know your history. So I caught up. And I've got to say, it was a completely different show back then, and this version of BeBe worked better in that context. They praised the fact that she was regal, she seemed very mature for her age, she was only 25 when she competed, and yet she seemed like a very wise, like, old soul. And so to be praised on that predominantly for your whole drag career, and then to come back when now the show is praising vulnerability and kooky reality characters and all of this stuff, it must have been an odd adjustment. And I honestly think that at a certain point, putting on airs all the time just becomes who you are. Who's to say that this isn't just how BeBe conducts herself?
Well, that fully is how she conducts herself on a day-to-day basis. But the problem is, if that is her choice, if that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, that's just the way it is, you know? Like, and I don't feel bad for that leaving a bad taste in my mouth, because it just does.
For sure. Well, and I don't think BeBe cares either. In fact, she said when she was with the eliminated queens, like, if this is going to be the determining factor, then I'm very comfortable with you not choosing me to be one of the top 2.
Yeah, but she sealed her fate right there. She did. But the
point is, like, she will choose her own integrity and, like, staying true to her own, like, persona and who she thinks she is before anything else. And that, I think, is respectable. I think that if you're going to accept that, like, this might cost you the competition, this might cost you popularity, and you still want to stick true to yourself, like, there's a certain respect to that in yourself. So Ru announces that the challenge is a music video for Hey Kitty Girl, which I thought that they did some sort of a lip sync challenge to this song already in, like, one of the recent seasons. If anybody in the comments is aware of what might be confusing me, let me know, or maybe I'm just crazy. So they get into rehearsals for this. Todrick is back, which I know you were very pleased about. I was genuinely like happy to see Todrick again. Whatever he is on the judges panel, in rehearsals, I think that he'll get them to be real with him, and he treats them all pretty much the same.
I agree with that 100%, and I also don't want you to preemptively think what I'm going to think, because I'm actually glad he was here for this choreography simply for that reason, to put BeBe in check.
I don't think that she was put in a position to win, because the little twink who was doing the lift had no, like, they were completely mismatched.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Did she have a twink though? Because hold on, you know how Trixie said, please don't pair me with that one because he's hot, and they panned on them, and I thought they panned to the one who was ultimately with BeBe, who I agree was the most attractive one.
These guys had been to hair and makeup. They were wearing
absolutely. Yeah.
It was very West Hollywood.
Maybe Todrick did it for them.
Todrick, like, midway through the rehearsal, takes them backstage and is like, hey, so the stuff that you were just rehearsing, that's actually going to be part of this, like, promenade style, behind-the-scenes, moving music video. And Trixie freaks out and is like, this is going to be better than Read You Wrote You. Like, you know, it's canceled. And I, at that point, was very doubtful that this would be better considering the season.
First of all, Trixie's face freezing was so precious. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But I was really triggered by her saying, Read You Wrote You. Like, it's Read You Wrote You. Girl.
True.
Past tense.
Shangela also referred to Todrick choreographing them into formation, to which I said, this is not the Look What You Made Me Do music video starring Taylor Swift. Todrick is not going to take Beyonce's formation and appropriate it for you all. So they skip the vocal production moment, which, just coming off of watching season 1, like seeing them with that dinky little microphone literally in the workroom trying to record vocals, couldn't have been as bad as that. But yeah, these were better produced, auto-tuned nicely and all of that. And they get right into presenting the music video, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I think for as messy of a season as this was, they actually executed this concept really well.
Yep.
I would like watch this again.
I knew they'd deliver on this. Now, is it better than Read You Wrote You? No.
I don't know. I think in terms of watchability, like viewability, the video aspect, I would rather watch this.
I think the concept was better, and even though half of these queens turned it out real hard, I still think the content of Read You Wrote You is better. The worst one, the Roxy, and She's Here to Make It Clear, is so much funnier and better in itself than the most let down, awful performance here, which, sorry to bag on you, but it's BeBe.
Did you spot Wintergreen fully present?
No! I'm sorry, I do want to acknowledge I watched this episode on a potato. I'm going to have to go and watch the real. There were some technical difficulties.
Well, Wintergreen is fully present, not in drag, which I wish that she had been in full drag.
She should have been, yeah.
Right? But yeah, you can see him like manning a camera.
I love her.
I like that they had like people who you can imagine that some of the crew workers in this video have been with the show since the beginning.
Oh yeah,
I
fully clocked. Even on the potato, but I think I fully clocked Miss Adam AC. So yeah.
And the backup dancers were also great. I mean, they clearly like spent some money on the production of this video. So first we opened with Kennedy, who I thought absolutely killed it from the very first little tableau of her with the backup dancers around her. Opened it amazingly, really nailed the dance section, and like having to run from her starting position to like her mark in the middle of the dancers, that's like a quick mark to hit and to go right into choreography, and she didn't miss a beat. There was a flip moment where I felt like her wig almost flew off. Like her hairline was just far back enough that I thought it might pop off, but it didn't, thank God. And I thought that her verse sounded good. Like, I don't know, I think Kennedy absolutely nailed this.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I was so proud of Kennedy. This is Kennedy truly in her element. She's a dancer, but she's like a freestyle dancer. And this portion where she was really given free rein to do what she does is kind of what I have been waiting for the most for her in this season, and she really turned it out. Had maybe the strongest performance of the four. And it was just. I think it was wonderful just to see her blossom. I love Kennedy so much, and she really ended the season on a high note. And even though a lot of people don't respond to Kennedy in the way that I feel they should, just because I don't know if it's the monotone voice or what it is, but like Kennedy was consistent throughout the season, whether her track record reflected that or not.
Todrick, in a way, redeemed himself for choreographing Kennedy very clearly.
Okay.
Persona
right.
is him working with the queen and tailoring choreography to their bodies.
Yeah.
So it shows Kennedy, when given choreography that matches her style, can definitely do moves that are not totally like improvised, but can carry through choreography.
I'm curious to know what the process was, because a lot of that stuff just felt very natural to what Kennedy likes to do on a stage, or whether it was collaborative between the two, because the other girls I don't really think are dancers in that way. So
right, well, they're basically all old school drag moves. Like it's
yeah.
all like Southern pageant drag. Like these are the same moves you see Genevieve pulling.
That's like what and who Kennedy is too. So I'm glad that was like what was celebrated here.
Right after Kennedy, we get into Shangela, who I thought was the other strongest.
Yes, same.
I thought that she nailed it. Like honestly, she was delivering to the camera mostly. One thing that confused me was that her head seemed to be angled up for a lot of it. I don't know if she was trying to like catch the light right, or because she's short, she's used to like presenting with her chin up. But the angle they were filming her from you couldn't really see her face for a lot of the shots walking forward and doing some of the choreography. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not quite notice that, but Shangela is the only reason I hesitated in calling Kennedy the best performance of the four, because Shangela really delivered here. I think the choreography she was given was the most flattering in a way. Kennedy's was so authentically Kennedy, but I feel like Shangela had the most like elevated choreography. Like it was very like diva. I don't know, it just felt in a way like a Beyonce video, some of this blocking. So I think she was given the most loving choreography from Todrick.
There was so much going on around her. Like people were choreographed to react to every little thing she did, and she was definitely the center focus. I would say Kennedy had probably the best choreography for a stage performance, and Shangela had the best choreography for camera.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a Beyonce video in how Beyonce will often kind of steal little things from like musical theater, movie musicals, Barbra Streisand, and then kind of warp it into something that's a little bit more pop. I love the bit of choreography where Shangela like almost gets hit by the board and like points at it and goes up. Very Singing in the Rain. Very classic, old movie musical moment. And Todrick knows how to make that current. So then we get to BeBe, sitting down. You had feelings about this.
Well, I mean, again, and you just watched season 1, but wow, what a recycle. The wig was literally a wig she wore from season 1, or the same wig.
Well, yeah, but which wig on this season has she not already worn on season 1? I mean, not to be the shadiest, because I like BeBe, but I was going to say that coming right off of season 1, this was a direct contrast, though, in terms of what she delivered. Because, like, seeing that, I literally this morning watched the finale episode where she is so clearly stealing the show, giving her all, like, just really kind of throwing herself into the shoot and being fearless with it. And this just felt very stationary.
It felt defeated.
If it comes from, like you said, something that had to do with her and Todrick following that moment with the dip. If you get on a kind of mindset where you think, oh, the choreography doesn't trust they're untalented, well then I'm not going to even give him anything, screw it, blah, blah, blah. Like, then that can really set you up to look kind of bad, which is what I think ended up happening. She did mess up the dip again. I like that, like once they got on stage, they do that group choreography.
They gave her a charitable pan away and didn't really look into it because wow, was it rough, way off.
Well, they really like built up the tension because it's like on beat. It shows like, Kennedy. It shows Trixie. It shows Shangela. And then the camera like holds and waits and then they're like, and here's BeBe. So lastly, we got to Trixie's backstage moment. I thought that this choreography did not do her any favors. It was super underwhelming.
Yeah.
She's just like on the staircase stuck there.
Yeah. I agree 100%. But that said, I think she made the most of it.
She had a lot of asides to the camera.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like personality moments.
Yeah. But I will just say, I mean, sure, early on I was #Team Trixie, but at this point in the episode, I was like, no, Trixie got eclipsed by Shangela. Shangela is going to be in the top 2, but I don't know who the other half is. And part of me was being like, really, it should be Shangela and Kennedy. Sorry, Trixie. You know, I like her, but whatever. But at the same time, I'm not at all surprised by the shenanigans and riggery that played out in this episode. Trixie's choreo, yeah, it was not, she wasn't given a whole lot of room to move or do anything, but I thought the look was cute. I thought the energy was right, but meh.
Her part was essentially like a transition between the Queen's moments, and then we get this little moment with cameo from the judges, which I thought was really cute. If it had been any season before season 4, Rue would have also been there in full drag, but we're not going to get that now.
Yeah, no. But
it really would have been nice.
I do want to comment. They did show Ben de la Creme, and I don't think they showed any of the other queens from this season, but she was in that hallway on the way to the judges. Did you spot that?
They had a few of them.
Did they? Okay. Again, I watched it on a potato. Sorry.
It's fine. That's something that I totally would not pick up on, but I don't know. I think Aja caught my eye also, but yeah, there were a few of them holding the curtains open, which I thought was it was all very nicely done. Whoever they got to direct this, honestly, Todrick probably directed the entire shoot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Just judging by,
and it was
seems
good.
Very Todrick-all.
Here's what I'll say. You know, I said my piece about Todrick before. I thought his appearance on this episode, it was good. And this is, if Todrick is going to continue being a part of the family, which is fine, this is what it should be. Like, I'm fine with him choreographing, judging the segment in choreo, but that I don't then want him to be on judging panel also.
Him judging Runway is not.
No,
it's just like not really his thing.
Yeah, no. But that said,
he should bring somebody from his team who does his costumes and have them judge Runway. Maybe that would be interesting.
That would be
but,
interesting.
He doesn't do that, you know?
That would be interesting. But also, I will just say that I know you like him, but I think Miss Todrick's time as guest choreographer may be numbered, because I don't know if you caught this, but in some of the teasers for season 10, we do see Alyssa Edwards being Miss Choreography coach. So, sorry, Todrick, bye. Like, I would rather Alyssa any day of the week. No question.
We'll see if she can turn it out. I mean, she'll be better TV.
It's her day job.
Yeah, choreographing, but not directing videos. And not, like, putting together stuff that's made for the camera.
But most of the dance challenges on the show aren't video either, though. They're just stage show numbers. So.
Well, it's all on TV. I mean, it's super different to consider, like, camera angles and what's...
We'll
like,
see.
When somebody
We'll see, but I think
I'm going to
Miss
reserve
Alyssa's,
my judgment.
Yeah, Miss Alyssa is a professional. I think she's going to turn it out and make better TV.
Well, and she's clearly preferable to the show because she's a former contestant, so yeah.
And she costs less money,
I'm excited.
I bet.
And she costs less money, for sure. It honestly might be in her contract from her season still,
Maybe.
in perpetuity. That,
Maybe.
Like, they don't even have to pay her.
They put that in the All-Stars 2 clause. They had to refresh that one.
So next we get to the runway, which is, as tradition, best drag glamour. What is the full? I don't even. Their best drag.
Extravaganza, eleganza, extravaganza, whatever. Yeah.
Yes, that
her.
Mouthful.
BeBe was first. Part of me feels a little bad to keep having the same negative tone with BeBe, but I just watched the show, y'all. I'm just reacting to what they put on the television, and it is a sad little bitter part of my heart that must admit I am not surprised that this is BeBe's best drag. BeBe is poised and her face is good and she knows who her character is and what she's presenting, but BeBe is not and has never really been a look queen. But I'm sorry, her best drag from season 1, which was literally a stretch sequin dress, even as basic as that is, was so much better than this.
So much better.
But the sad thing is, I'm like, what has she shown this season? This is the best drag she showed all season, and that's sad.
Well, I don't think this is... I think that her look from last week, the red number, even though it was, like, not her character...
It's just so far... I mean, okay, and let me just say, some people in the comments did clock me, I saw, and said, Foster, ask for her to do anything other than animal print. She gives you this, and then he complains. Okay, you're right, but... It's exactly as David just said. It didn't feel authentic to her.
There were a lot of different looks in season 1, though. Like, she showed a lot of diversity on that runway.
And then this season it just contracted. I don't know what happened. I didn't like the choice she made for the eye makeup either, personally. It was not my flavor.
Yeah, the eye jewels were the first time that I've actually had a big issue with her makeup, because she's done those before and they looked really nice.
This time it looked crunchy.
It was a little Lady Gaga Super Bowl. If we're assuming that the direction was going to be what it was going to be, and she was going to do the animal fantasy, first thing, just like a detail technical thing, whatever you feel about the vibe, the seams and like being able to see the seams in the bodysuit, like that just seems like a no-brainer. Like, it wasn't just down the sides, there were like 2 seams right down the middle, and you probably couldn't see this on your potato. But if she had really, like, if you're gonna go in that direction to have an animal head on top of you, then like really go in that direction. Again, I'm coming right off of season 1, but if we're like Chanel's like, it's fully integrated from the head to the toe. And if BeBe had like gone in this direction, had, you know, like this big lion head over her, and she's like inside the jaws of it, and it's like fully going into the outfit, then, you know, it would have been like, okay, that's cliche BeBe,
Okay.
She's really playing into this thing. But at least it would have been big and like really going for it. This was just kind of like more of a half effort than I've seen from her in the past.
This challenge is about like giving like the most elevated high drag gown look. What I'm missing from BeBe is like a gown. Her crowning look, season 1, here, neither of them are like quite elevated.
Right.
It's a dress.
The crowning look from season 1 was, as you said, better, and especially given the glow filter of the Vaseline, it really popped. Kennedy comes out in basically a redone version of her rainbow dress from season 7.
Yep.
And I think we can both agree a worse version of her rainbow dress from season 7.
I don't know if I necessarily agree. They're just different.
I'm shocked.
I know that Trixie told you it's a worse version, so you think it's a worse version.
I wrote this note before Trixie said anything. Thank you very much. I said that it looked very cheap foam, pool noodle realness. All of the little pieces hanging off seemed like very obviously they couldn't be anything other than foam.
I think they're just such different looks. I think this was a better conceptual iteration of it because the hair was red. And so I definitely like this hair for this look a lot better than the hair she wore with the original look in the first season. I also think it's great that her best drag here is a shout out to her best drag then. I agree with what Michelle said that I like the like campy, or maybe it was Carson, the campy element of this. And it's just like so much of what Kennedy presents always is this pageanty, high drag, gown type look. So I think it was great that she went back to this note. I think the problems with this dress were the red things right framing her face here, these ones. If that had been polished up, the look fully would have been better for me, I think, personally. But
yeah, I mean, in terms of shape, in terms of design, in terms of concept, I do think this was an improvement. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, all right, I see you're remixing this look. That was great. But then in terms of execution, that's just where it fell for me. And I don't think it was just the upper part of it. It was also the bottom like bit that was sort of kind of cinched in, and then it just looked very much like a separate piece. It didn't look all like one dress. And what I loved about the original one was that it was like this sort of Russian doll kind of like pieces within pieces, and they were all very solidly connected to each other. I did also like the hair. I wrote that she borrowed Dorothy's wig and it looked great on her.
Oh.
And I also liked the designs kind of around the like breast area, the kind of swirly red sort of cutout.
That was actually what I had the most issue with, the ones that kind of started to come up and frame her face, because that looked the least well done of the dress. To me, this seems like the evolved form of the last dress. It does seem stepped up a little bit. She can evolve one more time into a fully evolved Pokemon in this rainbow gay look. Overall, am I here for these like rainbow flag Cara Delevingne for Christopher Bailey's farewell to Burberry? Not really. I think this is kind of a flat idea, maybe. I don't know. But it rings way more authentic from someone like Kennedy than Cara Delevingne on Burberry Runway.
One last thing that I loved, a little thing, the juicy red lip I thought was a really wonderful touch. Also.
Yeah.
Shangela was next, right?
Yes.
I thought that this was jaw-dropping. To see Shangela fully... I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I mean, if I'm going to be really nitpicky, maybe the earrings were like a little big, kind of clunky, but the dress, like it was giving me full Academy Awards red carpet. The hair, I don't think that we've ever seen Shangela this elegant. I absolutely love this. I thought this was like the fully realized interpretation of this challenge and like really exemplified how far she's come since when she first came on the show. I was like emotional watching her walk in this.
I disagree. Something about the silhouette here of this dress feels off to me. And I cannot quite put my finger on what it is. Something about the shape, something about the shape of this dress, something about the shape just feels so off.
I don't know. I felt like it was like something Meryl Streep would wear at the Oscars or something.
And the thing is, I almost feel like this look is part of why they justify not putting her in the top 2, in a way, because I feel that Kennedy and Trixie had the strongest looks here.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Because we're about to get to Trixie, and I did not like her look at all.
Oh, I did. I thought it was great. I thought she showed something outside of herself, which was that everyone has been complaining about all season. I've never seen Trixie wear black. I thought the wig was whimsical and fun, and her dress was the most interesting to me.
Shangela's garment seemed so finished, like especially the top bit with like the fold over, the jewels along the collar.
That's exactly my problem with it. It didn't seem quite finished to me. There's something about it that's just like off.
That is, I don't know. And the wig was something we've never seen Shangela with that kind of hair.
Her hair, her makeup, the earring, everything neck up, flawless. And her performance in the challenge, also flawless. Don't get me wrong. Shangela had a wonderful, amazing, flattering episode, and then suddenly out of nowhere was robbed. So, very confused there. But I think the dress to me, I don't know what it is. Shape, but something about it gives, it's like the ordered online versus when it came in real life. That's what it gave me for some reason. It's like,
oh my god, okay.
I don't know.
All right,
I cannot put my finger on what it is.
Maybe it's just that she's like very short and the dress was very wide, so maybe it looked like she was being swallowed by it.
There's something proportionally about it was just funky. I really want to go back and look at it, and because maybe I'm being unfair to her, but at the very least, my first impression of it, something was off.
Last is Trixie, and you mentioned you like this. I felt like I liked the hair, so we'll start there. Yeah, I thought that the hair was a really great blend of like kooky poodle hair, but also very elegant, something we hadn't seen. It was flattering for her face. So like that all kind of checked the box for me. But the dress basically is exactly what you thought about Shangela. It's kind of like a reverse. I felt like the dress kind of had this cheapish quality to me. I liked the design and the patterns on it. I enjoyed the Serena Vanderwoodson boob diamond, but the fabric and the way that the sheer laid over that nude, she wore black, and like we've never seen Trixie in black, but the first thing that I thought was like, wow, well that's a bummer. Like I would have loved to see her in some sort of a color. I know that pink is like, overdone, but like if it were hit the right way, it would have been great to see like the fully realized, bright and colorful, elegant Trixie.
I disagree because I think so much of what Trixie does is like vibrant and colorful, and because she's like this doll, this toy, and so it's supposed to catch the eye of a child. So she's all about these bright, pink, energetic pop colors. So of course the natural like progression of the most elevated, elegant, different iteration of Trixie is not that. Like this, I think it was such a different note. I disagree with you. I don't think it looks cheap at all, first of all. I think, was it the most expensive dress up there? No, and that's the best thing too. It looks the most expensive and is certainly the best value, but I can guarantee you, even with the flaws in it, Kennedy paid the most for her dress, whether she should have or not. And I think that BeBe's was the budget dress. And she got what she paid for.
What I wrote about the color was that Trixie in black is a hard. What I wrote about the color black, feelings on the color black,
right?
Reflections
A meditation.
Trixie in black is a hard sell, is what I wrote.
I disagree.
Like it's just, it would have really had to knock it out of the park for me, and this just didn't get me all the way there. I'm glad that she didn't go full country.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she didn't rely on that. That's definitely.
I thought it was great. I thought this was wonderful.
Overall, I felt like this was a satisfying runway. I didn't feel let down. There were outfits we liked more than others, but at least all of them went for it. We get into the jury of their queers, and Ru reveals that the winner, or the top 2, will be chosen by the vote of the jury of the eliminated queens.
At this point, the show has fully just like jumped its own the show is done with itself at this point.
Yeah, this entire thing was a very damaging choice. I felt like they're
just so confusing.
So they basically go in and they have an extended version of these untouched moments with the one-on-ones, except now all the top 4 are going and approaching this panel of the eliminated girls, and I noted that Bendela, as expected, is fully checked out. I'm pretty positive that she made them get her a stool, which was hidden behind the couch, so that she could like sit down, while Aja had to like stand and lean on the couch and stay standing through all of these.
Yeah.
Because like they never film her from an angle that shows like her area behind the couch. I think, and she's like turned to the side for most of it. Barely does anything.
What if
but,
she
like,
wants
make
a
eyes
stool?
at the
Let her
camera.
have a stool.
I just can imagine her arriving on set like, well, I showed up. Get me my chair. I'm saying very few things. Just,
I
like,
see. So in your
bare
mind,
minimum.
Ben is the biggest diva in the world.
She looked. How could she didn't come off as anything but a diva in this episode? This, as unflattering as it was for
BeBe
BeBe,
is
this was
still
also
there.
unflattering for. True. They were the two who were cast in very negative lights this episode. Just kind of like running through the eliminated queens real quick. Chi-Chi looked freaking amazing.
Yes.
Chi-Chi looked so good.
Yeah,
I
she
could
did.
not get my eyes off of her.
Although
This
I will
is like
say,
the best I've
I
ever
don't
seen
think
her
she had
look.
the best look, because a lot of these looks were really serving. But Chi-Chi's face and hair looked flawless. Congratulations.
Right, it's
Chi-Chi.
funny how like this was the time where they all like chose to turn it out. Probably because at this point they actually had the amount of time that it typically takes them to get ready. Whereas on the show you have like 2 hours.
And plus they had
But-
a time to like refresh and get out of like the chaos of being in the race too.
I'm not a big Milk fan, but like this look, as much as it's not my thing, I was like, all right, that's Milk doing her thing.
Yeah,
Why
I
didn't we
love
see
this.
that on the show.
I
ever?
loved this Milk look. I thought it was great. She gives such interesting face concepts, really cubist quality, like a sketch of a face. Or like 2 sketches of a face superimposed on each other that she does a lot. And I love this crocheted boob moment.
It was like a cow udder. It was literally like Milk. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
She's an example of a queen who works so much better without the context of the drag race. And when she's given the freedom to do whatever, then she can really push it.
Ben looked amazing. I'm sorry, Ben looked the best, most composed of anyone. This giant red-orange hat and ensemble. Amazing.
It was a Bendela look.
Okay,
I
go
don't know.
home.
And Aja showed up in her finish her look, which a lot of people were talking about online.
Yeah, I
the
loved
devil that ends her music video. So,
But it was really
continuing
cute.
to give promo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the strategy was like, and this was filmed a while ago.
Yeah.
So she had a good clear vision of her release cycle for this track. Morgan was wearing BeBe's Talking Heads look that she wears in her interviews. So Thorgy was wearing some.
Thorgy looked
I
great.
don't know.
I thought she looked great. I loved the visor sunglass thing, and I thought Thorgy looked wonderful.
And it was fine. I thought. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
It wasn't a full ew Jesus gross, but it was just like a meh.
Excuse me, this was definitely, I think this is the best Thorgy's looked on the show. Is it the best she's looked ever? No. There's a video of her and Bob, for, I forget who they were doing, was it for like Harper's Bazaar, some fashion magazine or something, but they're just like kicking it and she looks flawless there.
I mean, I'm also not like the hugest Thorgy fan. I was just like, oh, this is a Thorgy
Really?
look, whatever.
You don't say.
BeBe goes in, obviously not popular among the eliminated queens. They ask her to reveal who she eliminated. She stands her ground. We've sort of discussed this.
She dug her own grave. She really did. I mean, half of it was how she treated all of them, presumably during the process of the show, and then she chose to continue to have a better than you attitude when her placement in the competition is literally on the line. Like we saw when she had already made up her mind to eliminate Aja, she wasn't having a conversation with Aja. She was just talking at Aja. She did the same thing here with these queens. She knew what she was going to say, and she just said it at them and didn't really react to what they were asking her.
I think at a certain point, it's just not worth it because she knows at the end of the day that she's not going to compromise.
If you're a fan of BeBe and she's your flavor, this is great because she's got so much exposure. She's going to travel the country now. Go support her. Go buy tickets. Go to the show. Tell her she's great. Maybe she's warm in person when she's not just a local queen. Maybe she'll be warm. Maybe she'll be warm to you.
Me? She's never been not nice to me.
Well, has she ever been nice to you?
Yeah, BeBe was one of the first queens who like fully let me come into rehearsal and like film and like I was like, oh, I just want to practice getting
Did
shots.
you kiss
It
her
was, like, when I
ring?
was-
Is that why?
No, I didn't kiss her ring, and I told her to her face I didn't watch season 1, and I was like, I don't really know who you are, and she was like, oh, we'll get to know each other, darling, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Okay.
she was very nice, and, you know, I got that she was a character, but, like, for somebody to let me come in and, like, film...
I'm going to step off of my high horse a little bit and be real and, like, remove yourself from the phenomenon of the show. If you actually expect a drag queen, a local queen, whoever, to not be like a grand dame diva character, like eccentric person, that's just unrealistic. Queens are delightful, colorful, brilliant, creative, boundary-pushing people. And so we should not, I don't know, in a weird way, Drag Race and the commercialization of what it means to be a queen on the national stage has made us all kind of jaded and have these preconceptions about what is and is not okay for a queen to be and how they should behave and how you should be composed, and that's unfortunate. And we should, I guess, maybe take a step back and like cool it, because like, I mean, yes, it rubs people really the wrong way, and you'll go to the bar and be like, who is this bitch who thinks she's this entitled? But that's what queens are. And so I don't know. You do you, BeBe. Right. It's not for me. It's not my flavor. You're a fierce queen, and a lot of people seem to have liked you on the show, so that's great.
That's good. It's good to hear, because I mean, like, I know that she was getting some hate, and I just hope that this season will have a net gain for her and not like damage her career. Because this episode was definitely not the most flattering representation.
Right, and that's unfortunate. She shouldn't end on that note, even if I was not rooting for her. You know, ultimately what this show is about lifting up queens and about celebrating drag in general, or hopefully it should be. That's not really what it's mostly about, money and self-promotion.
We talked about Kennedy, basically, right?
Yeah, we're on Shangela now.
All right, so Shangela comes in and gives the speech of a lifetime. At this point, I was just like, how could anybody not want her to win? It was a beautiful speech just about her getting to this point from where she started on the show in season 2.
Yep.
And I just, like, cannot believe that this didn't result in her winning. Like, the show and the editing and the storytelling of it all seem to be pointing in that direction.
It did also forecast what was going to happen, though, because what she was saying in aside to camera was, wow, I eliminated 3 of these queens. One of them eliminated herself and thinks I should be, you know what she's saying? Like, I got 0 of 6, and that seems more or less to be the case. Shangela composed herself really well here, but again, it was the rigory of what they chose for this final twist, you know? A lot of those girls were apparently still in their feelings about Shangela sending them home.
And of course, there had to be a Game of Thrones reference thrown in there for old time's sake. So.
I rolled my eyes for sure. I think if RuPaul made the decision of who to crown here, I fully kind of think he would choose Shangela. Am I Team Trixie? Sure. Was I really excited to see her win? Not really. It was very deflating. I said this last week.
It just felt like a very corporate decision, honestly. Trixie is the most profitable winner. Trixie, they will make the most money off of post-show.
Yep.
And
I
it
agree.
is what it is. I honestly feel like Shangela could give her a run for her money, because Shangela has all this acting experience, and Shangela is going to continue to be in movies and TV shows and all of that. But I think that they want profits that are more directly tied to the RuPaul's Drag Race brand, and that's what Trixie's going to get them. You knew about the Funko Pop, right?
Oh, yeah, and she had the Funko Pop. Yeah. I don't think that in itself was, I think that decision was made before she was even cast. I fully believe that. I don't think that was any like, whoops, we spoiled it. But I think that underscores why everyone was so confident that the season was just made for her to win, though. Because she was already years and away the most successful queen yet to appear on an all-star season.
Trixie goes in to talk to the girls lastly, and
Yeah.
there were a couple funny moments. Well, first off, we did have a quote that I actually liked from Trixie. She said, "It's okay to get butterflies in your stomach, you just gotta teach them to fly in perfect formation," which is cheesy, but I thought was like a cute quote.
You love sappy shit like that.
I could just imagine like a cute little cat poster, like an inspirational classroom poster, Trixie Mattel, and she was playing to the children, giving them some inspiration. A'ja's reaction to Trixie just reading Kennedy's rainbow dress also got me.
That was pretty funny. Although, I think the jury was split on this one. I think half of them, too, were like, what are you talking about?
Well, this was a moment where I thought that they were making Trixie look kind of bad. Because, like, they showed it in the pre-commercials teaser. It was very, like, Trixie's getting kind of shady, almost a little bit villainous, and
but drag queens are shady. I'm sorry, drag...
Yeah. They get back to the runway, and the queens nominate their 2, and the first announced is Kennedy, which was, like, a pleasant surprise, but, like, definitely a surprise. I thought this was going to be Shangela and Trixie for sure.
It's so weird, because on the merits just of the challenge itself, Kennedy really deserved that spot. She just did. But did I think going into it that they were going to pick her? No, I really didn't. But
and it didn't seem like the challenge had much of a factor in the way that they voted, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, they really didn't talk about the challenge. Did they even see the music video? Well, I guess they were in it.
Yeah, they were there, so presumably they saw it.
Kennedy's chosen really quickly, and then they have like a big build-up because the other person who's chosen will essentially be confirmed as the winner of.
Right. It felt
3.
like almost a contrived point, like for drama. Now the fandom, who is basically like, it's Trixie versus Shangela, are like, oh shit, one of them is not even going to be in the top.
Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball.
This I think was a clear decision to instill Trixie as the winner.
The thing is, I liked Kennedy's lip sync better.
Oh, I did.
Which is not a popular opinion. I tweeted this and people like read me the film. I felt like
they should.
Kennedy's a dancer. She's and she was doing her dancing thing, but this wasn't like a way we've seen her dance before. It was very contemporary and it was more vulnerable and like I don't know. I wasn't all here for Trixie pulling out clumps of her hair and.
You know what was the most vulnerable thing about this performance from Kennedy is that she immediately took her shoes off. No, it was like BeBe taking her wig off.
No, because it's different. In this context, this is a contemporary routine.
David, she immediately removed her shoe.
Because that was part of the performance.
To me, this is even more of a detriment than Trixie being in flat cowboy boots the whole time.
But it's not a utilitarian thing. This was a stylistic choice. Right. And I guess maybe in the context of drag that's not allowed, but like if you see any contemporary routine on, say, You Can Dance or whatever, contemporary dancers don't wear shoes. They are barefoot. Like that's
but they're
just,
women.
How it goes.
I don't know.
And then I felt like it was honestly a show of sophistication on Kennedy's end, that like she can dance in styles that are not just fierce southern drag queen, but she can also give a solid turn in attitude with her leg extended. Like, I mean, this is my So You Think You Can Dance reviewer coming out right now, but I was there for it.
All right, complimentary opinion. I think that the routine that she was doing to this song was completely too much. It was like Kenya Michaels in her lip sync against Latrice. She did not match the tone of the song at all. She was doing way too much for the song.
I think it's a difference of taste. Because I feel like this is what else would Kennedy have done? And like as much as the movements itself and the interpretation may have been over the top for some, she was still giving it in her face. She was very clearly listening to the song and giving her interpretation of it. She was just expressing it more outwardly through her entire body rather than just like a plant and rant, like emotional, just using her face kind of thing. It wasn't like she was sort of off in her own world. She was very clearly going with the lyrics and the message of the song.
Okay, girl.
And for the close-ups on her face, like, you could see she was invested and she was in it.
She was giving a lot of expression in her face, and I'm not trying to diminish that, but the dancing had nothing to do with the energy of the song or the expression that she was giving. There was a disconnect. That said, did Trixie kill this lip sync either? No. This is a really flat final lip sync. Whatever. Congratulations, Trixie.
Do you think pulling out chunks of the hair was intentional or an accident?
I think it was intentional. I don't think it was a great choice either. It was weird.
I didn't get it.
It was weird.
I don't know. I'm so glad the season is over.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I'm excited for season 10. Drag Race has just come to the point where they know what they want to do, and they're going to do it whether the queen actually delivers when they tell them what they want them to do or not.
Yeah, it's literally like they can just choose whoever they want, and the competition doesn't really matter. So anybody who's out there counting challenge wins and counting performance, we know, given season 9, given All Stars 3, track record don't matter. So just watch the show, have fun, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I need to take that advice especially.
Follow the queens off of the show and on social media and whatever if you really want to get the real tea on them and what's going on with their lives.
I would agree with that. I will say though, looking ahead to season 10, just in kernel of what you said there, season 9 is going to be an instructive example of what the show wants to be going forward. So I think season 10 is going to feel very similar in some ways to season 9. So what you said about counting challenge wins, I fully think that's going to happen again. And I'm calling it right now. You can disagree with me, but I bet they're going to have another top 4 in a lip sync tournament at the end too. which I don't know if I like.
Let us know your thoughts for the winner of All Stars 3, if you were satisfied with the results.
Let's not even pretend. No one is going to be satisfied with the result of this season. I'm sorry. Even me, as someone who preseason was rooting for Trixie, there is nothing to be excited about here. Shangela was robbed. She just really
was robbed. Wow. Oh my God. Look at this full circle. The real character arc was Foster. After a full season of anyone but Shangela. I'm rooting for anyone but Shangela.
I'm sorry. She wasn't my flavor. I'm going to acknowledge she deserved to win. Just look at the show. Look what she did. Look what Trixie did. But especially on this episode. Shangela deserved to win. There is no question.
You heard it there, folks. This is documented on video.
Yeah.
We both are in alignment. We both agree. It's the end of this messy season. Also, let us know your predictions or your early faves for season 10. It's just going to be right around the corner next week, so we don't get any downtime. And we're both super excited to just have a refresh and be on the main track with new girls. Getting to know new queens is always fun.
I know.
There's a chance that we're going to get a new intro. I'm feeling that. They've been using the same intro theme graphics since season 2. And I think that now, with all these other changes that we're seeing in the VH1 Switch, they're going to update the intro. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. All right. Bye.
Bye.